Hey everyone, Wishy Chew here. So I've picked up a game a few weeks ago, Captain of Industry. I think your classic factory building game with SimCity elements, a couple of its own little unique twists as well, and some logistical challenges to top it all off. Like Factorio and SimCity had a love child, and Transport Tycoon Deluxe was its stepdaddy. One thing I have noticed, it's got a pretty steep learning curve, and there is some tutorials out there. A couple that I've seen, the information is just given to you hard and fast, like you need to hit pause or you need to take notes, or you're gonna forget things. Others just give you all the information at once, like it's 30 buttons here, this is what every single one of them does. I want to take a slower approach, explain things as they come, highlight them if they're there, but not dwell on it too much if it's not relevant to that point of the game. Highlight some of my thought processes around design if a future issue could come about from it. And yeah, that's what this series will be. I'm thinking 2, maybe 3 episodes a week. It's hard. I have 2 young kids. I work full time. I can't get a lot of time for doing content creation. Plus, I stream on a Friday night, Captain of Industry at the moment, on a different island. That will be. I play one offline. I play one on Twitch, and then it's going to be this one, which will be the tutorial style of series. So record these on the Saturday nights in Australia, edit them through the week, and then release them out through the week the next week. So if there's any feedback or suggestions or comments or corrections to things that I may have made a mistake on, feel free to drop them in, but just bear in mind it may be a week or 2 before I can address it in an episode. If it's a correction to a mistake that I've made, of course I can make an annotation or something on the video, so I don't have to wait. Yeah, so from there, we'll just get started. So the style of what we're going to be talking about, sort of the map, these are the maps to start with. There is a whole heap that's on the Captain of Industry hub as well. You can click browse community maps. Won't work here because I'm application capturing, not screen capturing. They have like flat maps that are just grab your resources and go. New Haven is the starting one. It's not a bad map. Like it's a bit of iron here, a bit of copper here, more iron and copper up the back, and some coal in the middle, some coal here, a patch of oil, and then you got quartz and limestone. You can bring them up as well. Have a look. I'm going to be doing this one on the Armageddon map. Just nice big map. There's a lot of room. Then you click your next. Sailor would be, this basically just sets how much the people need, how much the buildings need, how much fuel is used. Maintenance, we'll go over that in game. Mining yields, so Captain is sort of the intended difficulty level. Sailor is sort of like a reduced difficulty to introduce you to the mechanics, and Admiral is that extra level of challenge. But I really think it just slows you down. It doesn't make it really any harder. And then you get some sort of tweaks. These settings, sort of the general rule of not rule, but the intended difficulty I suppose. And then some things that can drop the difficulty a little bit further and increase it a little bit further as well. And then of course you can always customize any of these options as well. I'm not going to go, just going to go standard with the realism and auto sorting ticked. That's all we're going to do for this one. And then because I clicked it, it's going to come up. Now game seed, it won't change where the resources are on your island, but from the island there is also a world map. The game seed will affect that. So like you'll have all of the standard quick trades and contract availabilities, but where that village is positioned in the world will be different based on your game seed. Alright, and that's pretty much how you get started, yeah. So this is a pretty large map. I don't have a beast, I don't have a toaster either, so let's just take a second to load in, but it's pretty stable. Been playing for a while and haven't had any real crashes. If it's your first time playing, you won't have all of these extra tutorial options, like messages. You'll just have this welcome, and it's just the world's over. You got away on your ship. You found this dock, abandoned some supplies and some trucks. And yeah, this is where you've decided to call home. Got 90 people and a few vehicles. But we'll start. So you have, health, unity, logistics. All of this, it's how healthy the settlement is. This is a special resource for Captain of Unity that can be used to accelerate things. This is like a overview of your current truck logistics network, and then you've got your food, your settlers, how many workers you got, what your ship's doing, and how many vehicles you have versus how many vehicles you can have. Date, time, game speeds. This one is that maintenance, which is a unique resource that is just in Captain of Industry. So every vehicle, every building that produces something, they all require maintenance. If you run out of maintenance, they will break down, they will stop working. So see, as sort of a stopgap from when you very first start, these starting vehicles, they come with significantly more maintenance than what they normally have. As this number drops below 100%, the chance for a breakdown increases. When it breaks down, it stops, and then it can go again, and then it still has that chance to break down until you recover your maintenance. How do you get maintenance? It'll come up pretty quickly. I would say in the first episode we should be covering that. This is a general overview of the resources that you want to track. You can pin and remove anything. Oh, if you click the right button, of course. So there's a little pin, wood's gone, wood's back. And then you can click and drag them up and down the list as well, based on how you want to track them. And then a recipe book. One thing that I like, so this basically is just like, you click here, coal, how do I make coal? I can make it in a coal maker. Okay, well, normally you'd have to then go through your building tab to find it in most games. This one, you can just right click on this, or left click, and it will bring the coal maker straight to your mouse pointer. Quite handy when you're trying to design something that you've never worked with before. And then of course you've got all your standard buildings grouped into different areas, of course. We'll go over these as they come up. I just got rid of the dots on the pipes. And then of course you do have a bit of a tutorial that you can also follow through. This one is ship your dock. As you can see, it's broken. It needs to be fixed, obviously. You found a damaged shipyard and then you unloaded everything. Got no fuel and you can't load it till you fix shipyard. Ship is used for exploring the world map, which when we get to it, we'll go over in more detail. For now, it's just there, right? So the game, well, yeah, and of course we start with some trucks and a tree harvester. We also have an initial startup of supplies. So some of these things are quite important. Diesel, fuel, right? That's important if we're going to be running trucks. Construction parts is what is used to build all your buildings. So, and then mechanical parts and electronics are also quite important. Those are the two main ingredients that are required for your maintenance. Yeah, so those will be our first main hurdles. Right? We have to start producing maintenance, start producing fuel, start producing construction parts, and of course, the people over here living in their pretty little boxes, they need food. We've got a food market here with some potatoes. So if we haven't got food supply sorted in 56 months, because of our realism checks, they will starve, they will die, and then we'll have nobody to work our island anymore. But probably, I do usually when I start on a new map, actually, like to bring up the resource overlay, so I sort of know, so like coal here, oil here, iron here. This is a very small coal patch. So every one of these is one level down. So this one here is 1, 2, that's one level. It's a mixture of stone and coal. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 levels down. And then it goes up the hill, and these don't really spike up. So I don't think it goes much deeper than that. So we got iron here, a nice big coal patch here, some copper there. So I'm thinking that I'll probably want my farms over here to start with. Because we want to try and get it sort of because we've got that, we're going to be digging down and we can have things that will cause the areas to fall over, so we want to get him as far away from that as we can. How close to these trees can we get? We'll try and get 2 in here. Quite a large building, this one. Yeah, we can get 2 in there, that's good. Now, this is place the frame for it to build, then the trucks will have to bring over the construction parts to finish it. I only want one. I just put the second one in for spacing so I can pause it. So now it's a white wireframe, blue. This one's going to build, this one's going to wait. So that would cover this quest. The next one, it's a coal maker. Well, coal will be handy. I won't deny that. I'll probably cut these trees first. So we'll grab our coal maker can live here. Now a lot of Captain of Industries buildings, so we put in wood, we get coal. So it's a 40-second cycle. 12 wood gives us 5 coal, but we also get 4 exhaust. You can, go to here to find out, or you can right click on the exhaust here and it brings up the recipe book. A lot of things produce exhaust, but this tells you how to consume it. So a smokestack will consume 60 exhaust per 60 seconds and generate 30 air pollution. And that just plugs into its output. Now, the other thing the quest wants us to do is assign some trucks to our harvester. It wants two. I'm good with that. I can have two. And I plan on digging out this coal pretty quickly, so I'm going to try and grab these trees first. So that was with the harvesting designation. You can see in brackets beside it, it has H, so you can use that. That's your hotkey. Click or H. Left click and drag to drag out the box. Right click and drag to clear it. The other thing it wants me to do is wants us to make a blast furnace so we can start making some iron. I like to this area here is just going to be quick and dirty automation, right? Just to get us those initial maintenance, fuel, construction parts. Now I'm putting him next to this. So this starts with 944 iron scrap and 600 bricks. For the iron scrap, right click on it here, put it in here. You can see we consume with some coal to get some molten iron. Molten iron and exhaust, right? We already know how to deal with exhaust. Molten iron is consumed in a metal caster, or these other ones which are currently locked. And it was 12 to 12. Now, we are going to need to put exhaust there, and we'll need a way to transport. I can't use words, words are hard. The molten material. We can't use our trucks for this. I want to place two so I can hold shift. And now that I've got one, I can flip and rotate using F and R. And it's good to have them a bit of a gap. Because, you know, a couple of hours now, you can click straight onto an output port and it will grab the required method of transport, right? So that gives me my molten channel, and you can see that when I click on it, molten channel. I do it with exhaust because I can pull exhaust out with a pipe. It gives me pipe, right? Just a way to sort of speed you up a little bit. You can also hover your mouse over something and press C to copy, and it will pick it up. Now I've got my molten channel. So that'll come out, split 50-50 into each one of these. So that covers all of these ones, but we still haven't covered our maintenance, and we still haven't covered our construction parts, and we still haven't covered fuel. All we've done is food. So to get to this one, we'll need to research it. So obviously, we don't remember how to do any of this stuff. We just must have found the ones we've got. I like to start with two. I mean, one's fine too, but it sort of gets through those initial researches a bit quicker. These ones just need people, power, and a little bit of that unity. So unity comes from your settlement. It's not giving us any stats right now because we haven't started the game, but you get the health, services, dietary variety, decoration. There's many different sources of unity, which we'll go over as we get through. Just half a unity is fine at the start. We should be okay. But you did see these require power as well. Blast furnace did not. So power production. Just gonna stick a diesel generator in here. Not because we want to connect to this pipe, but because this is where the diesel is right now. So that's right. So people. They eat food, you know, they get a few bits and pieces of rubbish they're going to have to want to get rid of. So we'll put waste collection, basically. And then we've got to tell our trucks to do something with that waste. I like to... My oil is going to be over here. So I like to put a bit of a dump dock. So I'm on the dumping designation here. You can see different numbers. So right now I'm set to flat. And it's changing based on where the bottom surface is. Usually I like to find where the shoreline is. I'll come out a couple. You can probably actually come out just the one. And then with the F button, swap it to a slope. And that's trying to slope up. I want to rotate that to slope down, level 2. This is, so docks can only be built between level 2 and 5. Sort of future prepping, right? So I'll come out about 5. Then from the 4s, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This should be enough space for a dock. And it should be done before I need it. Now, without a mine control tower around this, it's basically telling the general logistics crews that they can dump dirt, rock, slag, and waste. So if a building's trying to export any of those items, and there's no consumer in the factory or the island that requires it, take it here and dump it in the ocean. The other thing that I like to do straight away at the start is sort of place a few of these ghosted out, paused here. Mainly so I can not accidentally build in any of these spots, right? So all of these housing blocks are connected by these services. I could place housing over here, but he would need his own waste collection and his own food market to supply all of the items that they require. By joining them like this, even as a ghost, I can copy my food market and put it up here, which will be closer to my farms. So now the trucks only have to drive from here to deliver the food. Now, there's quite a bit of building. There's a lot to take in right at the start, but this is basically covering most of what we need right now until the labs are built. So I'm just going to go up to level 2 for the speed, and you'll see all the trucks heading in, grabbing their parts, and delivering them to where they need to go. 2 trucks have gone off with the tree harvester. These are the ones that I was really waiting for, which is our research labs. Now that they've been completed, if you were watching the bottom, you would have seen we've got a new option now, research. If you've played a few times, you can, while you're planning out those initial first buildings, you can actually just press G to bring that up without having a research lab built. Now, this is where we can start to see, so construction parts was something that we needed, so we'll grab that straight away. Maintenance was on there as well, but we did have a pretty good head start on maintenance with that initial boost from for the help from getting started. So I'm actually going to start after construction, going to the trading dock for the unit storage, and you'll see why. After the trading dock, we'll grab maintenance, and then the tools. These are quite handy. Like you get a selector that can use Unity boosting, Unity spending, pausing, upgrade, planning mode. I really like planning mode. You can place a building, it's automatically in pause mode until you're ready to build it, basically. So definitely going to go for that one. And then after that, we'll grab the vehicles and mining, because they take a bit to build. And then into basic diesel. And then before we get rubber, I'm going to want the beacon, then rubber. And at this point, we'll push out for yellow and see how we're going. I don't think we'll get all this done tonight. Let's push them along. So they won't load this generator now until they've finished those last couple of buildings. Did I put that exhaust stack on? I didn't. Might need that. So this is what I was saying. So I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to yet. I haven't unlocked the tools. Now waste is done. Right, so this food market's done, but we got 200 potatoes in here. This is where, so we want to deconstruct it. You can see the Unity symbol there, Control, and then Shift, and that gets rid of him. And all those potatoes now are over in this food market. So you don't lose them. They do go over there, but you would have seen that. I think we only got what? Yeah, 20 back for it, whereas it cost us 25. So the iron production's done. We get some more diesel, some more construction parts, and some vehicle parts. By hitting collect, we'll get some more goodies once this comes in. Our construction research is done, so that has unlocked the assembly machine for us, which is our construction parts. Now, and because you're watching, you'll know this trick too now. I learnt it in the same way watching a YouTube video, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to want a couple of these. Normally, you can only set one recipe in these things, and you only really want to set one recipe. But for our quick and dirty automation, we are going to set a couple on each of these with different priority orders. So what's going to happen here is they'll bring all of these resource types in. If these resources are available, this craft will go first. If these aren't available, this one will go. These aren't available, this one will go. More potatoes, more construction parts. Our trading dock's done as well now, so this is why we left that 5 spaces. We can fit storage box in behind each one of them. So now they'll drop iron scrap off, gets molten down, cast it into an ingot, put into a box, and then fed into a machine. There's next one. We're about to unlock maintenance. There we go. This is that maintenance I was talking about, alluding to at the start. That's what this bar is. These require, so 2 every 60 seconds. As you can see, this one, he takes 6 mechanical, 3 electronics, and gives us 105. Mechanical parts, that's just iron. So that's okay at the moment. It's not permanently okay, but it's okay. Rubber and copper. So these are the next things we need to work on. Because we still haven't solved maintenance. And it does want us to place our trading dock. I'm just going to put him over here, out of the way. Except that won't be out of the way because we'll need truck access. So we've done construction, trading dock, spoken about maintenance. So now you can see all these tools. So that's that Unity. I can hover over it. Each one of those machines is now working at double speed. Or I can click. Each one, that machine's working at double speed. I can also use Unity to quick deliver. This would cost 3.9. I don't have 100 wood in stock, so this one's my favorite. I pretty much just put it on straight away. And now when I place a building, you'll notice they went blue before. Now they come out paused. Okay. Alright, so we can see on the crops and the farms, you have your average production. This is assuming because crops need water. We're not pumping water in, but it's an open building. When it rains, it gets wet. Our average production is 9.2 every 60 seconds. And here you can see our town needs 4.2 every 60 seconds. We can probably already unpause one of these because we'll have the beacon coming up very, very soon. We did just get our vehicles, so we have 3 buildings here. The vehicle depot is where we produce our vehicles. We will need to make vehicle parts, so I'm going to place him as well. And this one I'm going to set for vehicle parts at the top, and I'm going to add vehicle parts above electronics on this one. Unpause that one and unpause one. You need to do, if you want to set up mining, have to have a mine control tower. So this will tell the inside this circle, any assigned excavator and truck can work that area. Go over at in more detail when I set up the designations, but I'm going to want one for coal and one for iron fairly quickly. Coal. So when you dig up the coal, the truck can have coal in it, can have dirt in it, and it can have rock in it. That's what the ore sorting plant is for. This will only be available if you selected that mining requires ore sorting realism level. The products that we need to sort, we need to choose in here. So I want coal, I want rock, and I want dirt. The ports will tell it where it comes out on the end. So you can see we've got A for coal, B for rock, and C for dirt. I like to put D for dirt and then just rock next to it and the resource on A. You can put multiples. You can fill this list. You can keep adding to it. I like to keep it to 3 if possible. The other one we'll need as well is one for iron. So we can delete the coal and put in iron. D for dirt, C and A. We're going to want someone for the coal and give him a couple of trucks. Someone for the iron and give him a couple of trucks. While we're waiting for those to build, the next quest, it wants us to purchase bricks for iron from the trade window right here. And that's it. So these are your resource on the left, what you get on the right. So we can trade wood for bricks, wood for concrete, wood for scrap, iron for bricks, construction parts for potatoes, copper, or rubber, diesel for coal, or coal for diesel. Those first trades will always be the same. At least that's what I've noticed. And I've started a few now. So when it comes to mining is similar controls to the dumping designation, but instead of adding loose material, we're going to tear loose material out. Now this is a very small coal mine. Usually what I'd like to do is flatten it and then dig it out. But in this case, because it's such a small amount, so we're going to, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 1 up as well. So if we go, can we use E and Q? Go down and up. So I'm going to go down to 0. Where we start here. Start down to 0. That's where I want my mine to get to. And then F. And rotate. And that will allow them now to dig in. And then flat, up to that same number. And then we can just literally go through now. Each one of these little dips covers the 9 squares around it. I just want to play, click and drag. Try and dig this coal out as early as possible. And this is why I sent that tree harvester here straight away, because once we dig out the dirt, trees will fall over. Fill this in now. Okay. That should hopefully clear out. Oh, we need to unpause those. And now we can set our area so that this will tell the vehicles that are assigned to it, hey, that is where you mine. This is still building, but we can still assign them while it's building. We don't have to wait. And now for the iron, we would do this one here a little differently. We do want them built. I just want to dig in at the flat, so we're on 6 here. Until we can get into some iron. Okay, so that covers tools, vehicles and mining. Just while there is that, yeah, there we go. You can see the trucks now. Scoops them up, loads it into the truck. You can see his cargo. Oh, he's going to have full load of dirt. There is ways to prevent single load going to the sorter, but until that can be done in a way that makes sense, I just don't do it. I let them bring it in, sort it, and then it can go to where it needs to go. And they just rinse and repeat. Once they get a decent amount of coal, I will probably switch off the coal maker and stop burning our logs, because when you look at the recipe for construction parts, they require wood. The only other one that I think we'll cover in today's episode is the beacon. And so we don't have to wait for the trucks to deliver it. It's gonna... You can see we have 91 total population, 210 capacity. Oh, of course. So not enough workers, it won't run. Have we finished? No, we're still building vehicles. So I'm just gonna pause an assembler. This will use one of our Unity while it's active and bring in refugees. Right now it's 3 months. Next time it'll be 4, then 5, then 6. I think it goes up to 8 months. I'm pretty sure it goes up to 8 months. It also goes up to 18. We'll wait till they come in. There's another quest we can do here is enable the iron ore. So we started with just this iron recipe. When we unlocked vehicles and mining, we got the coal recipe. We've also done the copper research. We will get to that probably in the next episode. But just clicking on it activates it. It's as simple as that. And then obviously you can prioritize it. I want him to do scrap first. It's a cheaper, it doesn't produce slag. It gives me the same amount of molten iron and it gives me less exhaust. Alright, here we go. They'll be here very, very soon now. Okay. Soon-ish. There we go. I just have to collect that. We can cancel that one. But so new refugees. The new 14 new people have come in, and they brought some copper, some rubber, some iron scrap, and some diesel. So this is why, because these new refugees, basically every time they come in, this is what they'll bring a selection of items like this. Numbers may slightly different, but this is what they'll bring every time. That's why I leave copper till so late, because I don't need a huge amount of it, just enough to make electronics. And the rubber's just for vehicles, so we do need them. It's tree harvester now. I don't really need him to do this spot yet. I would like to get that area done. Okay. And I think that's where we'll leave today's. If you made it this far, thanks for hanging around. I hope it was helpful. It's still very, very early game. If you're playing along, great. If I've made any mistakes, feel free to drop that correction down below. And like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Till next time, say good day to your mum for me. Bye.